You ever hear the saying that it's 90% mental? Don't quote me on this, but Yogi Berra, very famous baseball player back in the day, he said it's something like it's 90% mental and half physical or something, skewing the numbers up. But the point is that it's a mental game, whatever we're into. It's a battle in the mind. There's a war within our mind. And the Bible is very clear on that. This is the Warrior Podcast. And today we're going to discuss winning the war in your mind. So, the mental fight is every single day. The moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep, there's a battle in our mind. Now, we're told to not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of our mind. So, what does it mean to renew your mind? To renew it, to make it new, make it fresh. See, the things of God are, when you first come to Christ, they're almost exterior to yourself. Not almost, they really are kind of foreign because you've lived in this mental sphere of existence in your flesh, only trying to gratify the desires of the flesh. And you're really impacted by the world and what they tell you you should and should not be thinking. And even now, I mean, if you have a really devout faith and really strong walk with the Lord daily, what does that mean? You know, that you rise with Him and His things and His ways and His intentions and will for you forefront in your mind. And as you move through your day, they're basically kept before you. It's very hard not to receive the information from the world, their mindset, their suggestions. They inundate us, especially in a modern world. We have, cell phones and TVs and even people sharing at the water cooler. They're always wanting to impact us and influence us through giving us information. And we receive those through the ear gates and the eye gates, right? That's how these things get into our mind. We don't need help in this war in the sense of, it's like if I was to cut myself off from the world, which would, be nice, but we're in the world, but not of it, right? But it would be nice. I wouldn't receive that information from my eyes and my ears from the enemy. That'd be nice, but I'd still be left with my flesh. It's still trying to convert me over in my mind to walk after its ways, its desires, to gratify the things it wants me to gratify there. So there's still going to be that. Now, it would be a little easier, I would think, without the world's influence for sure. But ultimately, there has to be a switching. There has to be a choosing of sides here. We have the flesh on one hand and the spirit on the other. And our mind chooses which one to follow, not only practically, physically, in my behaviors, but also in my thoughts, in my intentions, in my desires, my aspirations, my will. So I have to make that choice daily, every day. And I believe when Jesus tells us to deny ourselves, that's what we're doing. We're denying this self-seeking part of us. Now, don't get me wrong. In following the Spirit, we still receive things of self, meaning God takes care of us. Jesus tells us that we're not to worry about the things of this world, what we will eat, what we will drink, the things that we wear. Do not consider this or that in nature as an example of how God takes care of things. So you can almost have this, the flesh will try to trick you to think, okay, if you don't think about the things of me, then things aren't going to get taken care of. I mean, who's going to look out for you? If you don't look out for yourself, who's going to look out for you? Where Jesus argues that God's going to look out for you. And here's how I see it take place, is that when you follow after Him, part of following Him is taking care of you. It's not the same way that the flesh would do it, of course, but these things do get taken care of and through you or exterior to you, that they happen in the circumstance. So you don't have to really worry about that. That's what Jesus is saying. He said, if you follow me, it's not like these things won't be taken care of. They will be taken care of. God knows what you need. He knows what is necessary to sustain you. And it starts there. That mentality, that belief, that faith, I believe, is where it starts to win the war in the mind, to make sure that we choose the spirit over the flesh every single day. Because the world, and here's how you can get an insight, the world will try to feed the fact that if you follow after Christ, that these things won't be taken care of. You will not gratify the things that you really need to gratify. You will not seek the things you really need to seek in life. And how do they do that? They put those on pedestals. They make it like you must have this, you must have that, you must seek self-approval, you must seek approval from others, you must accumulate massive amounts of wealth, you must make sure your body is tip-top shape and this, that, and the other. And you get it. They're always trying to sell us something, right? Whether it's a product, a service, a philosophy, most of the time it's all based on a philosophy, a mindset. And so as believers, as followers of Christ, that's really the number one war that we deal with every single day, is whether we follow the flesh, fed by the world system, influenced by the devil and his angels, or do we fall off to the spirit that's like the wind. I mean, Jesus tells like the wind. It goes wherever it goes. You don't know where it comes from. You don't know where it's going. So are those who are born of the Spirit. And so we can see that there's no real predicting it per se, at least on a daily basis is how I kind of see it. You can predict it by its fruit. You can see the things that it produces, and you can know if it's of God or not. Does it follow after the truth he's laid out very plainly in what he has declared in his word? Once again, we have to dive into his word, because in reading his word, as in hiding his word within our hearts, we do not miss the mark. We do not sin against him. We don't miss the mark of what he wants. We follow after what he wants. We accomplish what he wants because we've hid his word in our heart so that we may not sin against him, that we may not miss the mark he set for us, the standard he set for us, the ideal, the will. So therefore, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind so that you may know what is that good and perfect will of God. Hope you can see how it connects together. So what do we do practically? What's the 1, 2, 3 of this? We need to deny ourselves. We need to ask ourselves, what does my flesh want? And then say, no. I choose instead to take up the cross, to be a life of sacrifice in order to follow Jesus. The world's going to say, you're killing yourself. What are you doing? Yeah, pretty much. The life I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me. Try to figure out what that is practically and apply it, but it starts first in your understanding of it, your thoughts of it, your beliefs concerning it, and that can be influenced either by the world, the word. All right, guys. As always, you are a warrior designed for glory. Don't forget that. Live that. Walk in that. Believe that. As always, once again, if you like the content, share, like, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'll continue to put it out. God be with you. Stay in the fight. Peace.